there, it's Christy with the Chirp YouTube channel. I'm here today with the next in our series on sensory supports in the home. And today we're going to talk about olfactory support in your home. Of course, my cat is deciding to play with a toy right now that has a bell on it. So you might hear a little ding ding in the background. That is one of my sweet little boys, Steven. I do suggest you watch the previous video before you watch this one because I go into a little bit longer of an introduction about sensory needs and about what we do when kids need more of a particular sensory input. Let's assume that you know that stuff already, and I'm going to tell you some ways that you could provide more sensory input in the area of the olfactory modality. Olfactory, of course, means smell. And kids who need more input in the olfactory area are going to be visible because they're going to be sniffing weird stuff. Kids who need more smell input are going to be sniffing all sorts of things that have very strong odors. They may be sniffing their own poop. They may be sniffing feet. They may be sniffing trash. Maybe they sniff some pleasant things, but most of the time these kids are searching for some strong aroma that is going to meet that need for them of getting more input to their olfactory system. As I mentioned in the previous video, when kids are demonstrating a need for more of some kind of input, we need to find a way to give that input in a way that is more appropriate. And in this case, we want to provide lots of different aromas, lots of different scents, lots of different smells that are appropriate, and we should do it at separate times throughout the day. By the way, if you're wondering why am I panting while I'm just talking, it's because I am sick, I can't breathe very well, and I'm having a little congestion in the old chest area there, so I'm attempting to communicate effectively anyway, so give me a little grace, cut me a little slack, and I will do my best, but I probably will pant a little bit. Sorry about that. We want to think of all the different ways that we could provide sensory input to the sense of smell, and we want to do it in chunks throughout the day. As I mentioned in my previous video, we want to have a diet, meaning 3 to 4 spaced meals of sensory input throughout the day. You may start out in the morning with a sniff and smell book. There are some of those. That is pretty cool. For 10 minutes. And then you might have in the afternoon, maybe after school, you might play a little guessing game with some spices. You might sniff some spices or do art with spices. That's pretty fun. Just sprinkle glue around on a piece of paper and then allow your child to sprinkle one spice at a time, taking the time to smell the ginger or the nutmeg or the cinnamon. You might do that after school, and then maybe after dinner, before bed, maybe you put some lavender in an essential oil diffuser and have your child sniff that. Or maybe you put some vanilla on a cotton ball and you allow your child to sniff that. You can put things like this or like the spices on a cotton ball and then zip it inside of a little plastic bag or put it inside of a little glass box with a top on, and then your child can open it up. Okay, don't give glass to kids, plastic. Then your child can open up the box or the bag and sniff the item if he or she needs to calm down or rev up a little bit throughout the day. There is another option for sniffing, of course, and that is peppermint, spearmint, citrus, things like that. I don't recommend those right before bed, of course. You might want to try these in the morning because they are on the alerting side. And I need to mention here, please be careful with all spices, with all flavorings, with all scents, with all essential oils, because they can be dangerous. We don't want kids to be ingesting these things. We want them to be smelling these things. So we want to present them in ways that the child isn't going to just shove in her mouth. Also, please be careful, especially with essential oils, especially peppermint and spearmint and some of the other ones like that. They can be dangerous to animals, especially cats. Cats seem to be very sensitive to essential oils, and so you want to only diffuse, you want to only use on your skin or an animal's skin safe things. So please take good care of your animal friends and keep them safe from any dangerous substances to them. Going outside for walks and practicing expressing what the child smells. I smell pine trees. I smell cows. Whatever it is that the child might smell in your environment when you go on a walk, talk about that. Talk about it, and then allow the child to smell it and smell it and smell it, and to experience a wide variety of smells. Get down really low and smell the freshly mown grass. Go over to the lake and sniff the water. It has a very unique smell. Bring in leaves that are all dried up, crumple them up, and put them in a bag, because they have a very strong fall, crumbly leaves smell to them that the child may really like. As you experiment, allow the child to choose, request particular scents that she really likes especially. I have one little guy who requests smells very regularly, but he usually requests cinnamon. Cinnamon helps him to feel calm. Sometimes he breathes it in and it makes him sneeze and he thinks that's hilarious. Sometimes he just breathes it in and feels a little calmer. He also likes peppermint, and those are kind of very different smells because one's a little more calming and one's a little more alerting, but he likes them both and is receptive to smelling both of them when he's getting a little agitated. I'm sure you can think of all sorts of creative ideas. Use a rind grater to grate some citrus rind. Peel a banana and sniff that lovely banana. Chop vegetables, especially things that have a very sharp odor, maybe garlic or onions. There are so many scents in the natural world that I don't recommend using scented candles, scented lotions, scented anything else unless they're scented with essential oils. A lot of those fragrances are dangerous. They are artificial chemicals, and they can irritate the lining of our airways. They can irritate our lungs. They can irritate our skin, as can essential oils if we're not using them properly. We don't want to use artificial fragrances. They can be very dangerous. And in fact, they can be toxic as well to the brain. We're breathing in these things and they are toxic chemicals that we weren't meant to breathe in. So get your scents from nature, where we were meant to get them. Give your child lots of different smell opportunities throughout the day. And I would imagine that your child will not only be happier and calmer if this is a need that he has, but he will also display fewer of those strange sniffing behaviors than he was before. I hope this video was helpful for you today. I hope that you got some ideas on how to present some olfactory input to your child who may need more of that, and that you got some ideas about how to set up your home in a way where smell is a positive and exciting and rewarding thing to experience and to talk about. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.